I first want to thank Maribel for that introduction and for her support. She is a great leader. She's been through this. She knows what she's talking about, and I'm so glad she's here with me. These are some of the members of my leadership team that we're going to roll out in the coming days. I'm proud that they're here standing with me. I particularly want to acknowledge the majority leader, Stephen Horsford. I look forward to working with him.
I look forward to working with you.
What impresses me most about Maribel, though, is that she is putting partisanship aside and putting Nevada first. I think that's a refreshing approach. It's something we haven't seen from the governor's office in way too long. And I think it's one of the reasons that we find Nevada schools ranked last in the nation. And we find Nevada's economy struggling to get through this national recession. Putting Nevada first. That means finally having a governor who understands the connection between strong schools and a stronger economy. And when I say connection, let me be perfectly clear. Without wings, a plane doesn't get off the ground. Without wheels, a car can't head down the road. And without strong schools, our economy will never grow. Not like it needs to in the short term, and not like we really need it to happen in the long haul. As a lifelong Nevadan, I get the connection between strong schools and a stronger economy. I'm a product of Nevada's public education system, and Cindy and I, as Maribel said, are the proud parents of 3 children that attended public schools here in this state. You'll see me acting on the connection between strong schools and a stronger economy every single day I serve as governor. Because we will never have a first-rate economy if we continue to accept second-rate schools. That is a fact. Businesses will not come to Nevada if we aren't producing the workforce they need. And executives and workers won't come here if they don't believe that their children can get a good education in our state. That's exactly why I released my detailed education plan back in March. My plan will transform education in our state. I know that's a bold claim, but it's truly a bold plan. It gets bureaucracy out of the way, it empowers teachers and principals to innovate. The plan provides incentives for performance and accountability for success. Like I said, that's bold stuff. And a lot of people have rightly said, Rory, that's a nice plan, but how are you going to pay for it? I'm here this morning to tell you how I'm going to pay for it. My EDGE plan is about restructuring the way we run, administer, and govern schools in Nevada. When similar fundamental efforts were undertaken in Boston, New York City, Baltimore, and Oakland, they have reduced administrative costs between 10 and 20%. If we save just 10% here in Nevada, we will realize savings of $220 million every single year, and we can reinvest that money into our schools. That's how we'll pay for the proposals I've made, like better training for teachers and principals, 21st century technology for our schools, and smarter testing methods so districts, schools, and teachers can be held accountable. You will be given a sheet, and it lists the investments that I describe in my plan. And you'll find that they all cost less, much less, than the $220 million we should expect to save under my plan. And with our whole economic future riding on educational success, this election must be about building the bridge between stronger schools and a strong economy. That's my approach. I've presented a detailed and comprehensive plan, and it's backed by the strength of my convictions. Unfortunately, my opponent, Brian Sandoval, has a very different approach. You can read all about it on his website. Brian Sandoval proposes slashing teacher salaries by 20% or laying off at least 5,000 teachers in Nevada. He proposes diverting $110 million from class size reduction programs, particularly targeting 7 and 8-year-olds in Clark County, and he says that money would be better used in the state's general fund. He pushes a voucher program that would drain millions of dollars from public schools, and wouldn't even begin to cover the average cost of private tuition. And Brian doesn't stop with K through 12. Brian calls for a 12% cut to faculty and staff at our colleges and universities. That's more than 750 professor and staff jobs lost. Brian, the rest of us know that this is no way to build Nevada's future. Just like Jim Gibbons, Brian Sandoval wants to balance the budget on the backs of our children and jeopardize our future. I, for one, will not stand for it. That's what's at stake in this election, and I'm 100% committed to this fight. Before I close, let me address another issue that I know you all are very concerned about, our looming state budget shortfall. The bottom line is that I'm convinced we can make our budget work by living within our means, focusing on smart investments in education and growing our economy. We can do this within our existing tax structure. And I'll set out my specific ideas on dealing with the budget crisis in the coming weeks. What I won't do is what Brian Sandoval did, which is offer a half-baked proposal that balances the budget by gutting our most important investment, our schools. I will not do that. Over the coming months, you'll know for sure that we're in the silly season. There'll be many attempts from my opponent and his allies to divert Nevadans from the real issues. They'll use the same old tricks, same old partisan tactics. They'll call me names. And they'll do anything to cover up the fact that Jim Gibbons' ideology is now embodied in Brian Sandoval's agenda. And it will take our state in exactly the wrong direction. As governor, I guarantee you that I will stand up for anyone who tries to shortchange education and our economic future. I will never give up on our kids or their potential. I'll never give up on our schools or Nevada's economic future. I'm the one candidate that is committed to building a bridge between strong schools and a stronger economy. Brian Sandoval is determined to tear that bridge down. That's what's at stake in this election. That is what this is about. I'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one. I'm going to get away from the podium and come answer all your questions. I look forward to this debate and this discussion about what's right for Nevada's future. Thank you for being here.